A statistical investigation. The question that was investigated was, do boys or girls sleep longer on a school night? The source of the data was from the 2014 Census at School data. Included is a range of data displays, including stem and leaf plots, dot plots, double column graphs, and sector graphs, which were all constructed using Excel. From the stem and leaf plot, it is clear that the majority of students, both boys and girls, get 600 minutes or 10 hours of sleep on a school night. This data representation is appropriate. However, the data needed to be converted into minutes in order for it to be effective. This dot plot is an appropriate data representation as it shows how many hours boys and girls sleep on a school night. It is clear to see that most get 10 hours sleep, and it is also clear to see how many boys and how many girls get a particular amount of hours sleep. The double column graph is similar to the stem and leaf plot, as well as the dot plot, as it is an appropriate data representation of how many hours of sleep both boys and girls get on a school night. The columns can make the graph more easily readable, as well as compare both boys and girls in the same graph. Although the sector or pie graph shows all the data, it could only show girls or boys in a graph and not collated together. This graph shows similar data of the percentage of hours girls sleep on a school night, which is useful. However, as this investigation is comparing boys and girls, the data would be better represented in one of the previous graphs, as they collate both boys and girls' hours of sleep on a school night. It is clear here that the average hours of sleep for both boys and girls is similar, of 8 to 9 hours of sleep on a school night. 10 hours is the most frequent for both boys and girls of this age group, and boys had a smaller range compared to girls. The box and whisker plot is similar to the other graphs, as it is an appropriate and alternative data representation. It shows the minimum and maximum number of hours of sleep that both boys and girls get on a school night. In answer to the original question, it is clear that by both measures, mean and median, that both girls and boys get roughly the same hours of sleep on a school night. The average is 9 hours of sleep a night, and the graphs and plots also support the finding that 10 hours of sleep on a school night is most common among both boys and girls. The results show that, in line with sleep recommendations, both boys and girls sleep on average for 9 hours a night. This is the ideal amount of sleep for children of this age. Less than 7 hours or 11 hours is okay, but more than 11 hours is not ideal for this age group. This data could be used to predict or compare sleeping patterns of these students for the future or past and see how it differs among ages as they develop. However, the data may be unpredictable or unreliable, as some students may have unknown factors or issues arise that may affect their sleeping patterns.
Created using Powtoon.